That's you, and that's why it's important to stay in contact with your customer during the repairs too, because one of the things that I will tell customers when we're signing paperwork is, we're shooting for about 10 days on this repair with everything, the insurance company and getting the repairs done and getting the parts in. But one promise that I'm going to make you is that we are not going to sacrifice time for quality. So if it does take longer than that with us, bear with us. It's because something, either a part came back damaged or something along those lines. But if it's taking longer than the time that we predicted, it is because we are making sure that this job gets done the right way, and we're not taking shortcuts just so you get your car back on time.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
customer, that's one of the reasons they come with us, is for quality. So they're understanding of that.
Exactly. And that's just something, that's why, like you're saying, communication with your customers throughout the process is important. It's not good if you get the customer's car in and essentially you have no contact with them for 14 days. I mean, some point you
Right.
might want to reach out or something like that. Most likely they will have reached out at this point in time and check in. Hey, how's it going? How's the repair process going? Most of the time we just say, we've done our estimate. We've sent it over to the insurance company. We're just waiting on them.
Yep. Usually I try to update this as much as possible. We have a checklist of where you'll be able to see all the cars that we have in the shop, and you just got to keep track of your customers, and it'll have whether or not the car's been approved or not. And usually at day 4, if it's not 4 or 5, if it's not approved, I'm reaching out to the customer to say, hey, we've been delayed in the insurance process. We're still waiting to hear back from State Farm. We are now going to be past our 10-day delivery time. And then so on and so forth. Once that car does get approved, hey, we're approved, we're starting the repairs today, give us 4 or 5 days and we'll get your car back to you. And then if something goes wrong, you got to reach out to the customer and say, hey, we ran into a hiccup here. It's going to take a little longer, but most of the time we don't have to deal with that. Most of the time repairs go well and the customer gets their car back on time.
Yep.
We just don't want to make any sworn promises, because at every part of the repair, there's always the potential that something can go wrong.
Yep. And Nicole will not be happy.
Yeah, if you got to get Nicole involved with your customer, that's never the greatest thing. She's great at what she does, super professional, but you want to be on her good side.
Yeah, and she probably deals with the insurance companies more than I do, because she's the one that calls them initially and says, hey, we got the car. Here's all of the information, all of that kind of stuff. And so she is also very in tune with the insurance companies, and she knows a lot about them. She'd be a great person to talk to about it. She works from home though, so you will probably see her a few times throughout the year. But she works remotely in Texas and is very good at what she does. We're very thankful for Nicole and everything she's able to do. She's put out a lot of fires for us.
Absolutely. And she is, to give you more credit towards Nicole, she's our corporate office. Sometimes with customers, we mention our corporate office. Nicole is the whole corporate office. She does the job of 10 people.
Yes. And so, and you'll probably get a call, or you're going to get some calls from Nicole throughout this year. Paperwork wasn't done properly, things like that. Hey, you need to reach out to the customer for this.
Yeah, she like we mentioned with sales, that's one of the reasons I love this sales cycle. The salesperson is involved from the beginning to the end. We are the face. We are in touch with our customers. Anything that happens with the customer, even if we're not directly involved, like if something happens in the insurance side of things, or there's a backup in the repair, 9 out of 10 times that salesperson is notified saying, hey, we ran into this issue with X customer. Can you reach out to them, or do you want somebody else to reach out to them? We got to let them know.
Yeah. And at that point, we definitely prefer it it's the sale. I think it's a lot of times it is the salesman's responsibility to do that, unless they don't know how to explain it. There are some things that are a bit more complicated.
We're kind of cleaning up our own mess sometimes. If we forgot to mention something or didn't frame something properly, we've got to go face our customer. But we do have that support staff around us. Like, hey, I don't know how to frame this to a customer. you've got Brett, Roger, Troy, Nathan, or even Nicole to help you frame it and have that conversation. But part of our values are when we make mistakes, owning up to them. So we want that salesperson to face the customer and be like, hey, this went wrong. We try not to apologize if it's something that was out of our control, but we just want to let you know before it becomes an issue.
Yeah. And that's part of being a salesperson. It's part of that, customer service side of things is explaining, like if there's problems, explaining that with them and being able to sit down and call them or whatever it may be, and explaining why things are taking longer. I mean, that's part of the job.